Okay guys, today I'm planning on doing a couple of videos, but the first one I'm going to do is a new series that I'm calling Clicks Tips, basically, simple as. And that is basically what my videos that are advice for rookies are going to be on. Now, the fact of the matter is, I've done a few videos now on how to, um, theory to do with, setting up the game, getting your figures, what you should buy, all that sort of stuff. But I haven't really talked much about playing the game quite yet. And I was thinking about my video on. Actually, to be fair, I thought of the idea of this video, and then I thought of my last video about whether you should play meta teams and stuff like that. Now, what I thought was that one thing you really need to do when you're starting off the game, if you're playing at a locals and you're playing with established players, and you've got competition from meta teams and the like, is you need to not psych yourself out when you play against them. So you can do this in a number of ways. So first of all, tip number one is know your enemy. Insert copy of Sun Tzu's Art of War right here. Right. So yeah, you need to know your enemy, and by this I mean if you find out about a team that is gnarly, it harkens back to what I was saying when I was talking about what you should buy. Is know what's out there, know what you could come up against. If you go up against a team and you don't know how it plays, especially when you're just starting out, then it's not necessarily going to be a fun thing. I mean, you think players aren't going to take it hard on you because because you're just starting out, but fundamentally they made the hard team, so they don't necessarily know what fun is for both players. But the fact is, if your opponent's got a very complicated team, it definitely helps to know how it works, even if you're just getting started. And sort of knowing how the bigger teams play is going to really help you in understanding what you can do with your teams, and it can give you ideas, things that you might need to counter with your teams and so forth, other elements that might help your existing ideas and stuff. Sorry about that. So that's the first thing, and then the second thing is, once you, as long as you know what your opponent's team is, you just need to not worry about it. And this works too if you don't know what it does, because you just need to not fret, because if you're thinking, oh my god, I'm going to get smashed all the way through it, then you are, because you're not thinking about it. And I mean, when I sort of returned to locals, when was the EU referendum? I think it was it was around that time, maybe a bit after. I was basically playing Red Sun, Wonder Woman, and Faust and stuff. So, it was all, it was a good team. It was a solid team, but I was just getting back into it, and my friend Dave was playing like a big Proteus team. So I was a bit worried about it, and fundamentally, my team was really good as well. But it wasn't like a properly built team. It was just me using what I could use, what I did have. I just happened to have Faust and Red Sun Wonder Woman, which is two pretty amazing figures. And, I beat him. And it wasn't necessarily difficult. But throughout the game, I was fair enough worried about what this Proteus was going to do. And slowly but surely, I just smacked its tits off. And it was as simple as that, really. I noticed one thing. One thing me and Dave and another one of our players from our locals were talking the other day about the boxing ring, and it's like as soon as you put it down on the map, people start psyching themselves out. They don't really know how to play it. They know what it does, but they don't really know what to play against it. If they're playing with it, they know it fine. If they're playing against it, they don't really know what to do about it. And it's stuff like this that you need to avoid, because find out how it works, ask how everything works, Because you don't even need to research it beforehand. Just sort of ask the other person what their team does, like individually and so on, and work out what it's meant to do, and how you're going to be able to counter it in theory, what you need to kill first, what you need to avoid, so on and so forth. So learn how to play it, and then just don't fear it, I suppose, because you really do just psych yourself out when you really don't need to. I mean, there's plenty of times where there's plenty of stories out there where people have gone up against something or a player and thought losing this, and then just won it because they kept the cool and they just took it the way it came and won it that way. So I guess that's basically what I'm saying with this. I don't really need to ramble on about it too much. You'd basically want to know your enemy, so make sure you read all the cards. So even if you vaguely know what the figures do, you could like maybe click onto like activation timings or something, or drawbacks to abilities that people might not necessarily be ignoring but forgetting, so you can just pull them up on it and stuff. For example, when I was playing my Thor Odinson the other day, in my first two games I knew not to, like, I knew there was a reason to not sort of do a title character ability, but then in my third game I was like, why haven't I been doing this? I'm going to do this. And I remember the reason I wasn't doing it is because he takes 1 damage when you do it, if you don't attack. So like, yeah, if you play it that way, you can help yourself, because you're just taking your opponent's word for what's going on. It's not going to help you in any way if something is done incorrectly. And that's another thing. Pay attention, question everything. Always make sure you have, you know exactly what is available to you to do. Be thinking about ways to get around whatever is currently happening, and then you never know, they might turn up. Surprisingly do. And never think the game is lost, because you can always cheese it. You can always cheese a game, as long as you have some figures left. God knows how far you are into the time allocated and so on and so forth. You just never really know what's going to happen. So don't psych yourself out. Know your enemy. Don't give up on it, which is a running theme for all of these. And pay attention. That's all I can really say on the matter. So thank you for watching. Check out the other Clicks Tips videos. Subscribe for more. Check out some of my other stuff as well. And goodbye.